Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So today I'm going to talk about parallel world. What's that? They call it like a different dimension or alternate reality. So if this sounds like a fantasy, just keep it that way. But when you're really consciously aware of this parallel world exists in your reality, it really makes a lot of sense to use your consciousness level because you're shifting all the time. When you make a decision, for instance, that okay, there's a donut, so it's you who will eat this donut and enjoy and I'm just so happy. And there's another you that who decided not to eat this time. I just gonna hold it, I ate so much junk food today, so no more. So when you make that decision, two different decisions, yes, I will eat it, no, I'm not gonna eat it, and it creates its own reality. So if you live in a world where you decided not to eat the donuts, that's where you're gonna live. If you decided to eat this donut and be happy, and that's where you're gonna be in this reality. And you don't know where this leads, right? So when you live your life, you make so many decisions. It doesn't have to be a huge decision, a little decision. Am I turning right here? Am I turning left? Am I taking this course to this term or not taking this course? Or am I going to meet this person today or not meeting this person? So every time you make a decision, you have a different reality that's happening for you. It's kind of same idea. There's so many world is already there waiting for you, like tons, like millions, they say. So every time you make a decision, make a choice, you're shifting. Your reality is shifting. But nothing is changing. Of course, because you're making a little subtle change, so you don't really see a huge difference. But in your conscious mind, you're constantly changing this parallel world. It's more like it's like a film. A film is a continuous of the still picture, but when you're living in it, like when you see it, you don't see those like a still picture. It's in the motion, so it goes really fast so that you don't really see this individual still pictures. But it's more like the reality is that the repetition of these still pictures. So every time you make the decision, you go this way or that way, and this world you make another decision, you go that way and that way. So there's so many different worlds exist. So when you use this conscious level for that purpose, it really creates the reality that you desire or you want. For instance, that okay, so your contract for the phone, for instance, is gonna be up. So it's been 2 years, and you think to yourself like, what's gonna be? It's been 2 years. I have no idea what's like today. I have no friends who talk about it. I forgot about it. So in your mind, I like to have the same condition, but I don't want to pay anymore. So stay the same condition. And then you think at a time like, oh, I don't know what's like, maybe it's been 2 years, so they're going to raise the fee, and maybe the condition is not the same because it's been drastically changed. So when you put the intention of that way, probably you were told like, okay, it's been drastically changed, your fee is going to go up, and your condition is not the same, it's less, and that's what you have. Or when you say to yourself, okay, I want the same conditions with the same fee, and probably you're told like, okay, you have so many discounts today, lucky day, so your condition stays the same and your fee remains the same. So you just never know. But when you put the intentions, it really does bring you to that world of desire, of the world that you want to live in. And when you think or when you can imagine certain things, like for instance, okay, you want to travel this place, or you want to have this vehicles, or you want to have a nice the house or anything, or you want to learn this, the subject. When you can imagine it in your head and vividly think about it, that world exists. That's the parallel world concept. You just haven't experienced that world yet, but it's going to be there. Or what I mean is, you're going to be there. So what's stopping is the consciousness level. Like, you need to match your consciousness level to that world's standard. So where you're at right now, for instance, if you want to study this course, you want to improve your certain skills, and then you put your conscious levels to that world, and you'll be living in that world. That's the idea. So for instance, if you cannot imagine things, like for me, like being a hockey player, I have no desire or no interest, or I'm not skilled for that area, so it just doesn't really stay with my imagination. It doesn't come to me naturally. I can't even imagine putting a gear. But to some people, it really excites them. It's like, oh my god, that would be so nice. I'd be so thrilled to put all the gears and ready for play. And though for those, it really exists for that world, the world to live in. But for me, probably not, because I cannot vividly picture, like it's zero picture of me playing the hockey. So each person has a different needs and different wants and desires, so they'll be so different. So you need to really talk to yourself and imagine yourself. And then it's just, when you can imagine, it'll be there. And you just need to put or raise your conscious level to that world that requires. So it's possible when you can imagine things. So it's good to have this training or the practice to imagine a lot of things that hasn't happened yet, but use this imagination to motivate yourself to get to that point. That's the first place. And then you get closer to it because you're gonna search or research or start meeting people who have the information that you need, and you start to really gear towards that world. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I'm living in it. And that's kind of the top parallel world that exists. So there are so many of them. So you make so many decisions in a day. Sometimes it's not a good decision, or sometimes it's okay decision. So it applies for the bad decisions as well. So that it's important to keep your conscious level really in a good directions. Otherwise, the universe doesn't know what's good and bad, which is just the definition by us, the human beings, saying this is good and this is bad. But to the universe, it has no meaning at all. It's all neutral and natural to them. So when you focus on the bad things, and the universe will say, oh, that's what you like to have more of, so they will bring it back to you. It's the same thing other way around. If you focus on the good things, the universe will think, oh, that's what you like to have more of, and they will give it back to you, the more of the good things. So it's really the intentions and consciousness that's really is a key to shift yourself to the world that you desire. And when you start playing with this, it really kind of interesting and fun. It really does happen the way you want it. So your intention is really, really important, and to have this conscious level goes up, and keep it up to match it to the world that you want to live in. So this is like a little play in your mind, but it really works. So try it and see the next video.